Hi, there's been a significant development in the race to find a COVID-19 vaccine. US pharma Pfizer and partner BioNTech recently announced that their vaccine is 90% effective in preliminary results of phase 3 trials. This is making news across the world. What I want to do today is break down this headline and present it to you with a little more context. First, let's talk about why the Pfizer development is a big deal, apart from the obvious. First, they did not receive any money from the US government under its Operation Warp Speed, like Moderna received billions. Pfizer has some guarantees for a certain amount of orders should they succeed, but this achievement in this duration has happened without state support. Second, it's a large-scale trial, some 44,000 volunteers with 42% from diverse backgrounds, which is important while testing a vaccine. It's double-blind, which means both the researchers and the volunteers don't know who's getting the vaccine, who's getting the placebo, so it's a rigorous trial. Then the vaccine uses a technology which is different from what most other candidates in trials are using. The mRNA technique. You take messenger RNA, which is a type of RNA. It's a genetic code and it tells cells to make proteins. What Pfizer did and Moderna is doing as well is they're making messenger RNA molecules that are coded for the spike protein found on the COVID-19 virus. Scientists then wrap this in a lipid. It's a kind of a fatty layer that protects the mRNA and allows it to fuse with human cells and get transcribed into protein. Those proteins, because they're foreign, then trigger the human body to make antibodies against them, which results in an immune response. It's interesting because it allows you to quickly make a vaccine. You just need that mRNA and the vehicle to deliver it. But it's also new. No vaccine currently approved or in regulation uses this technology as of now, which makes this news all the more remarkable, as does it stir uncertainty. Pfizer says 90% of people who got COVID did not develop COVID-19 symptoms and developed immunity within 7 days of the second dose. But what do we know about how it affects infectiousness? No symptoms is fine, but can people still spread COVID-19? This vaccine needs to be stored in extremely cold temperatures, minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. That's not your fridge at home, that's a specialized refrigerator, a freezer that many Asian, Latin American and African countries don't have. These countries also have warmer climates. The Pfizer vaccine spoils in around 5 days at slightly above freezing temperatures. Even in India, with its well-oiled delivery mechanism, the majority of the cold storage facilities in both public and private hospitals are good for vaccines that require up to 20 degrees Celsius long-term storage and then 2 to 8 degrees Celsius when distributing the vaccine. The Pfizer candidate requires minus 80 degrees Celsius. Even Moderna's mRNA vaccine must be stored at minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is not ideal, but not quite as challenging. A senior government official in the know of the government's strategy to vaccinate priority groups by next year told Indian Express that the government is not even thinking of logistics for vaccines requiring sub-zero storage right now because they feel that a more practical vaccine, or maybe even two, will succeed around the same time. India has not reserved any doses with the company, nor is Pfizer a part of WHO's global COVAX initiative that aims to raise $18 billion to purchase vaccines for poorer countries. But that, in a way, is the dilemma that most developing countries will face now. Should they pay and plan for an elaborate, expensive, sub-zero cold chain infrastructure for a new, promising technology? Or should they wait for a more conventional vaccine that can be delivered through existing healthcare networks? In the US, Pfizer plans to apply for emergency authorization with the US FDA after studying 164 positive cases for a period of 2 months, which should be in another 2 to 3 weeks. The US, currently being thrashed about by a deadly second wave of COVID-19, desperately needs all the urgent intervention it can get. But it also goes to show that Pfizer's candidate will only strengthen global anxieties, that richer countries will get the better vaccines first. I'll stop here for today. My name is Pallavi Prasad. If you're seeing this on Instagram or Facebook, please share this video. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe. Thank you so much for your time today.